There's still a way to make money and profit through real estate investment, even in today's real estate market. You do have to be careful, however. You can't just go out there and try to buy any old thing that comes on the market. From working with a lot of real estate investors and being a real estate investor myself, I've run across 3 rules of real estate investing that I believe you should follow that will help safeguard you if you plan on starting investing in real estate. These rules are pretty universal, so it really doesn't matter how the real estate market is doing, whether the real estate market is booming or crashing. Following these rules will help you to make a profit no matter what's going on in the market. Let's get right into it. Rule number 1. The money is made in real estate when you buy, not when you sell. Make sure that when you analyze a real estate deal, the real estate dealer is going to start profiting for you immediately, or at least in the near future if it's something that you're planning to fix up and rehab. There are actually a lot of real estate deals out there that will only be profitable for you if something happens in the next 3 to 5 years to make the property value go up. Always be careful with those deals because those can be a lot riskier, especially with the way the market is going and how unpredictable it's been. For example, let's say you bought a fully updated 2-unit building for $400,000. Each unit rents out for $1,000 each. Now, as you might have guessed, that rental income really isn't enough to cover that mortgage. But what the buyer is betting on is that maybe in the future there'll be some improvements to the neighborhood and they'll be able to charge more in rent. Be careful doing that because what if it doesn't happen the way you planned? Now you're stuck with a building that really doesn't give you a lot of cash flow and you're stuck with the expenses that are left over. If you purchased a 2-unit building that does get enough rental income to cover the mortgage and most of the repairs, however, then it doesn't really matter what happens with the market because the rental income from those buildings are going to cover your debts. And this is another important concept of this rule. Do not pay more for the property than what comparative prices in the area are selling for. Now, I know the market is hot once again, but do not fall into the trap of overbidding for a property just to win that property and just because other people are willing to pay for it. If you're overpaying for a property, then all of a sudden the real estate market shifts and home prices start dropping. Next thing you know, you're going to end up with a property that's underwater in debt. Rule number 2 for making money in real estate: do not over upgrade your properties. If you're buying a single family home and there are some upgrades that you just absolutely want because you're living there, that's perfectly fine. But if you're doing this for investment purposes, that can be a huge waste of money. The reason is because people are only willing to pay so much money for certain areas. Now, if you're in a bad area, for example, and you build a mansion, nobody's going to be willing to pay mansion money to live in that bad neighborhood. If somebody has that much money, they're going to move to a different neighborhood. Just take a look and see what other properties in the area are doing and upgrade your properties to the point where it'll be marketable to buyers. No need to go overboard with it. Rule number 3 is actually the golden rule, which is treat others how you would want to be treated. There are actually a lot of emotions involved with real estate, and if you make the buyer feel bad about doing business with you, then they're going to try and find somebody else. Even though you may feel like you're a big-time real estate investor now, remember that they always have other options and they can go somewhere else. So once again, make sure to treat them with respect, make sure to provide anything for them that they need that you possibly can, and do what you have to do to get the deal done. I once worked with a real estate investor who's had a pretty good amount of experience. He's flipped a few homes before. During the winter months, it snowed a lot and there were a few people that wanted to show his home. He wanted to make sure that the people can get into the home as easy as possible, so he got out there himself and shoveled the snow, even with all the money that he's made from flipping real estate. On the other hand, there are a lot of investors out there who would have said, you know what, I spent all this money rehabbing this home. I think what I have is better than everyone else's, so, go see it. If you're not willing to walk through the snow, I think somebody else will. That's the wrong attitude to have. Alright guys, those are my 3 rules of real estate investing that should help keep money in your pockets no matter what happens with the real estate market. Any questions or comments for me, please feel free to reach out either through the comment section below or through my website, which is BaileyAcresProperties.com. My name is Rob Bailey, realtor in the Chicagoland area with Arnie Realty Inc. Thanks a lot guys. Have a good day.